Hello, beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, I have a wonderful guest. She's been here before, and she is an intuitive energy healer, and she is an animal communicator. And today, I want to talk all about animal communicator because it is such an amazing, so rewarding place to go. And I am sure that many of you might be feeling like you communicate with your pets. And I want to tell you that, yeah, you probably are. You're not just making it up. You're not just feeling or thinking that maybe your pet knows what you're saying. Everyone who has pets has these moments when you're like, oh, he looks like there's a person in there, or like they're looking at me. And then when you communicate something with them, you might see or feel like they know what you're talking about, and they do. So, how are you, Glenda? Welcome to Healing Through You.
Thank you so much. What an honor to share my experiences with animal communication. I always had an incredible connection with animals and nature, and I've always had a pet growing up with my family. But it actually wasn't until I left home when I was an adult and I was ready to invite an animal into my life. And I believe that animals find us because they are such a gift to this planet. It's like the animal that is meant to partner with you. They have special energy and medicine, you might say, that they bring forth from all of their experiences. And together, you help and heal each other. I had put out to my universe to attract this being, was telling the neighbors and everything that I was, looking to invite this dog into my life. And somebody says, well, I know my friend is looking for a loving caregiver for this dog that they're not able to take care of anymore. And so I went to go see her, to go meet her. And within minutes, I knew she was the one. And what it was the owner had said, when everybody goes to bed at night and they had a toddler and a baby, Shawnee would go up the stairs into the baby's room and sleep with the baby. And as soon as I heard that, I didn't need to know anymore. She was the one. And she was such a special gift. She loved everyone and everything. And it was she who brought into my awareness this gift that I had all my life but didn't even really know it. Yes, as a child I connected with animals and there was something special, but I didn't know what it was. It just was a special connection that I didn't know it was a gift.
Well, let me ask you
Yeah.
first, because when you first started speaking, you said wanted to invite this animal into my life or this being into my life. Were you aware that you were asking and or inviting an animal into your life in these words back then? Or was it more like, I want to adopt an animal back then? Or were you already aware and tuned in to the fact that these were beings and that you wanted to invite one into your life?
I think I was already in tune. To me, it wasn't about adoption, just adopting an animal. It was about there's a special animal out there that is meant for us to come together and to partner, to love and care for each other and to be a companion and all of that. But there's a special one. So it's like, okay, show me this special being. And to me, animals have always been beyond animals. They're human-like in so many ways.
That
And
is beautiful.
I think when we as human beings, when we ask to be shown this incredible connection and how we can communicate with them, you will be shown. So it's almost like the human getting out of their own head in their own way to really invite a special connection with their pet, one that they may not imagine as possible, but that they're they're just incredible beings. So I took her everywhere, everywhere. I took her absolutely everywhere. She was always with me. And I even took her to my classroom to visit the kids a few times when the principal allowed me to do so. And
Wait, were you
but
teaching? Were you
yes,
teaching? I didn't know
yes,
this.
yes,
Okay, I'm
yeah.
sorry. I do have to interrupt here. This is so incredible because I've known you for a while. Like I've been in contact with you for a while, and I did not know any of this. And The first thing that intrigued me is that you said, oh, I started talking to my neighbors and trying to invite an animal into my space. And I remember that several years back, I was ready for a dog. My neighbor had a dog, and I used to come home from work and ask her, can I walk your dog? But she was still at work, and she'd be like, of course. And I would walk her dog. And I was like, I think I'm ready for mine. And then I started talking to my neighbors. And then in talking like that, I was riding in a car with one of my neighbors. And on the hill, we saw this dog, like just like a wild dog. And he was like a beagle, which I didn't know any names of breeds back then. And I said, oh, that's the dog. I want a dog like that. I like that dog. And she turns around and she said to me, my boss has a dog just like that she found 3 months ago, couldn't find the owner, and now she's looking for to rehome it. And I was like, what? And so I was like, yeah, that's my dog. I want that dog. And then, she goes, okay, I'll tell her on Monday. And then the lady wanted to come meet me, and she brought the dog. And that was my first dog, Francesca, which I wrote that children's book. But that's how it came. I started talking to the neighbors, and then that's how this dog came into my life. And then the other thing that you just mentioned is that I was also teaching. I was the art teacher. And I also brought my dog everywhere, and I would bring her to school on the days that there was like a professional development, and she would come and stay in my room with the kids, and the kids loved her. It was amazing. And I can't believe the parallels. I mean, I can't believe it, but it's just like, wow, this is amazing.
It is. Yeah. And so the times when I couldn't take her, which I couldn't take her to school all the time, just a few times I was allowed, she would talk to me at home while I was in the classroom teaching. She'd say, Mommy, hurry up and get home because I'm going to knock all the plants over. You've been gone way, way too long. But guess what? Sure enough, when I got home and opened the front door, all the plants were on the floor.
Oh my gosh. That's
Yes.
incredible.
Yes. And how she communicated to me always, always. To me, it was just this most natural thing. It wasn't weird or out there. That didn't even really enter my mind. It was just so natural, I had her on this earth plane for 17 years. And she was like a big dog, which is incredible for a dog to live that long. And she even told me when she was preparing to pass. And that was just the most, I mean, I could write a book about that experience. And a week after she passed, she says, Mommy, go to the forest now. So even in spirit, she still talks to me to this day. She says, go to the forest where we always used to walk every day. Go there right now because there's a message for you. And you got to go. You got to go now to get the message. So I was like, get in my car, go to the forest. I get out of the car, and there's a feisty red Arabian horse walking down the side of the road. The man on the horse. And Shawnee says, Mommy, ask the name of the horse. I look up at the man. I go, may I ask the name of your horse? He goes, yeah, her name is Shawnee. And I'm like, Shawnee, Sweet Pea. Her nickname was Sweet Pea. I said, Shawnee, what do you want to tell me? She says, Mommy. She says, Mommy, you know how we connected on earth together. She says, how I always talked to you. We always talked and knew how each other felt. And I was there for you when you needed me the most. And you were there for me when I needed you the most, Mommy. And she said, the way you connect with me on the earth, you can connect with anything. That's anything, a tree, a person living, a person passed over, a crystal. It doesn't matter what it is, a pet, an animal, anything. You are a messenger of spirit, and you just connect and you receive information and you communicate with the being just like you do with me. She says, Mommy, you explore that gift. Explore that gift. And so I was at a healing circle, I think a week later. I was facilitating this healing circle, and Shawnee pops in. She says, Mommy, there's something on the wall. You got to look at the wall. That's just incredible, don't you think? Here I am in the middle of a healing circle, and she comes in to say, Mommy, look at the wall.
That's amazing.
There's a poster on the wall with a horse on it. She says, Mommy, look at it. This is workshop with horses and healing through horses. So you go to that workshop. Well, I went to the workshop. I had never been around horses except for maybe a horse pony ride when I was a little girl. I went to this 2-day workshop, and the woman who was running it had been around horses all her life. And all the people that she associated with were people that just the same. They had been around horses all their life. She says, here you are having no experience with horses. And the way you connect with the horses, I can't even teach people to do that. People that have been around horses all their lives don't connect with the horse like you do because you are in your heart. You are in your heart and you just, there's nothing just, there's nothing interfering with the connection. It's just your heart space and the horse. And she was just blown away. And she says, I highly recommend you take the field facilitator program to be trained in how to help people heal through the spirit of the horse. And I'm like, wow, wow. And so I took the program
Ah,
and I was shown through the horses every time. Every day we went out to the herd, these incredible experiences of what I was receiving from the horses. I get shivers all over my body as I speak to you. Just, I could tell you so many stories and how I would just receive information from the horse.
that's amazing. I love that story. I really love how you're just following the message. Like, go over there. Okay, do this. Okay, ask that. Like, wow, like what a great example of what it's like to just get the hint or that message from whomever it is that we get them from, and then going the next level. Because when we follow those, that's exactly when we align our lives to our
Yes.
best experiences.
Yes, exactly. It's like, I mean, I feel like I have many things to offer the world through my spiritual gifts. And I have this strong feeling that animals are a part of it. They have to be a part of it because in all the different things that I offer through my spiritual gifts, it's like it's not complete unless the animals are a part of it. I have such a strong connection to them and they gravitate to me like bees to honey. I'll be in a park and there'll be a dog that's thousands of feet away from me. And they will just immediately connect with me and run across the field from their owner just to be in my energy. It's like they sense something. They sense a special connection.
Probably
And
that you're open and that you can feel them
yeah,
and communicate. So it's kind of
yeah,
like, you know what, how they show like on TV, like the spirits. It's like, oh, you can see me, right? And then they want to communicate through that person, that medium, because they know that they can relay a message. Feels like that's what they're feeling, the animals. Like, oh, she can relay a message for me to my
yeah.
human, perhaps.
Exactly, exactly. Because it's like the minute I meet a dog and I look at the dog and the owner, I receive information right away. It's comes through the behavior of the dog, and then it's not just the behavior, it's information that comes through the connect through what I am connecting with. And if somebody were to ask me, what does the dog have to say to me? Something would come through and I'd be able to share it with the owner and I'm sure they would fall over in their chair because they're just like, wow, how do you know that? Because it's like, yeah, that's relevant in my life.
Can you also work with the animals through photograph? Like, let's say somebody
Yes.
sends you a
Oh, yes.
picture.
Yes. Thank you for asking that question. Yes. There's absolutely no time or space. I don't it doesn't matter if the pet's right in here in my living room or pet lives on the other side of the world or I just have a picture. It doesn't matter at all.
I
Go ahead.
wanted to
What was
share with the audience because I have a dog who has seizures, and I had several people read for him, like, hey, what are the seizures? Why are these seizures coming, or where they're stemming from? And I also communicated with my own dog, like, what's going on? But I felt, and this is really important, I really want to share this with everyone. I felt that I was too close to the emotional stress of what was happening at my home with my dog having seizures and I, because it was stressful for me to see him this way. And so I reached out and I was like, okay, who's an animal communicator? And then that's how I found out you work, because I had no idea that this was part of like a huge part of what you do. I knew you were an energy healer. I didn't know this part as well. And that's how I found out. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I just want to share with the audience because you came in and you immediately started receiving messages about my dog, what he needed. And then we did a session, one session, guys. We did one session. And, Glenda gave me all of these tools to use and reminded me of different things that I could do to help him. And it was a beautiful experience hearing the messages that, my dog had for me from Glenda and the healing. When we are healers and we are in the moment or in the situation, which is emotional for us, and things don't work, we tend to immediately doubt our abilities and go like, oh, it didn't work. I need somebody else, which may or may not be true. But what happened was that Teddy actually started seizing right after the healing, like he had a seizure. But I had the tools and the reminder that you gave me, Glenda, of like, when this happens, you just say these things. This is not my reality. We're moving to the next reality. This is the reality now. And you just keep holding that space and you keep seeing him healthy. And that part was so powerful because that part was missing. And so when the seizure comes again, like it didn't work. And they just go into that reality, believing that that's the truth. And then, of course, you're not helping what you want because you're buying into that reality still. Obviously, it's not going to work. But with this tool and with that support that you gave us of being there, like, I was texting her, I was like, hey, this happened today. And she's like, okay, do this. Okay, say that. And like that support was so powerful in getting through those days when he was still seizing because there's energy that still has to come through and it has to show out. And when we give up, that's when we stop the healing. And after that, I think this happened, I don't know, a couple times over like maybe 2 days, maybe. And then he stopped. And then that's it. He's been fine. And then we also took him off all his medicines, which is like huge. So I'm just like so thankful and grateful for your service and your beautiful gift that you have and the ability that I know you. I feel so honored to know you. Like, oh, I can reach out to this person now when I'm in the middle of things and just ask for that help from one sister to another of like, hey, let me have some of that beautiful gift that you have in my life because it's needed. So I just wanted to share that story because it was so powerful.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes, it is so important because with the initial healing, 9 times out of 10, the appearance is of almost exacerbated symptoms because the body is adjusting, getting rid of the old and adjusting to the new. So sometimes the symptoms can appear worse initially. And that's the key part of the caregivers to say, thank you for showing up. That's the old reality. We're unplugging from that. This is the new one where you embody perfect health. That's your new reality. And that's what I'm visioning for you. And it's huge. It's such a huge part of the completion of the healing is to embody through every thought, word, and deed, that new reality for that pet.
Yeah, it is so important. And it's a part that's not spoken about and it's not shared and people don't know. And just like me, and I'm a healer, I've been doing this for a while. And I know this from when working with people, but when I was in that space with my own dog and my own trauma of living with this, I couldn't see past it. I was just like, happen again. And then all the sorrow, what's going to happen to my poor dog and all that, which was really fueling the disease as I'm giving it more energy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was wonderful. It was great. I'm just like so happy to have that and just wanted to like put it out there that when we do need help, recognize it, reach out and
Yes.
follow the instructions. Tell me what it is. A lot of times we can have the ego can get in the way and be like, I know this, so I'm going to do my own thing. And then you don't allow the healing to go through.
Yes, exactly. So animals are so, especially dogs, are so compassionate that they hold on to energy that's not serving them and their caregiver. Animals can carry energy from previous experiences in their life, just like humans, from previous owners, from previous experiences, from previous lifetimes. And it can manifest in physical, mental, emotional, behavioral challenges. And so through the healing and the intent to release that energy from all people, all places, and all timelines, no one carries it anymore. It's the ancestral line is healed from it. And so everyone heals. The family members heal. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's like healing for one is healing for all.
Yes, I remember doing like a healing on someone, and then they asked, it was an ancestral healing, and they asked me, does that also heal your offspring? And I was like, yes, it heals your entire line. And they were like, yeah, I woke up to a brand new 10-year-old. And I was like, whoa, right? So it's interesting how you can be aware of so much, and at the same time, when it's happening to you, we can
Yeah,
forget everything.
exactly. Because you're immersed in it. And it's hard sometimes to be a neutral observer is very hard when it's your family.
Absolutely.
Um,
Tell me more about this horse, because I know the horse showed up during
oh,
Teddy's healing.
yes, this is so interesting. So it's so interesting. So whenever I meet an animal physically, I don't know, they're in my field and it's like they will pop in the perfect time, in the perfect way, whether it's in a meditation, whether it's in a healing session for someone or a healing for a pet, they will pop in. And just recently, so your dog's named Teddy. And was watching a part of this online meditation with horses in California. And one, if you can believe this, the horse that and I had done this before with this woman when her horses, but I don't know all their names. Well, right, I think a week after I offered the healing for Teddy, your dog, I'm online with this herd of horses, and the horse that comes forth to help release energy for the people is a brown horse named Teddy.
I love it.
And so when the evening of Teddy's healing, I'm drawn to draw a course from my sacred horse oracle. And that's the message that came through. This brown horse was about unconditional love. And that's when I asked you to wrap Teddy in rose frequency and asked if you had a rose crystal to keep it near him. Because the horses wanted to say that, wanted to bring forth that information. And if you can believe this same week, I had an oracle reading done from this woman who knows nothing about me. And she says there's a brown horse that's around you, that's empowering you and bringing forth something into your life. And I'm like, holy smokes.
I
This
love all the confirmations. I love it, love it.
horse or horses, goats, and maybe chickens. Like that's, I see myself in that setting.
Wow, it feels very nurturing.
You just took the word right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was just going to say. Feeds and nourishes my soul on so many levels that nothing else has the same effect on me. But when I am around animals in nature, I'm home.
Amazing.
That's where I belong. And I feel like I've had this connection for many lifetimes. It's so ingrained in me. It's a part of me.
Do you teach people who want to be animal communicators how to connect with their own spiritual gifts, who want to open up to their own gifts, how to receive? Is that something that you do?
I would love to offer that because I feel like I'm also a good gifted teacher I've taught children for 33 years and I have a natural gift in sharing information, but it's not just sharing information. It's because it's part of one of my spiritual gifts, and I've lived it and experienced it. So now I hold those key codes of that information to share it with others. And I am a very, very good teacher. So I feel like with those two things, I could really, really help people tune into their own special gifts and receive information, tap into their spiritual gifts even more and share their unique medicine.
Yeah, because it felt, I forgot what happened. I really did forget. But when you did the healing on Teddy and then you had that other experience with the California horse named Teddy, and you shared that with me. I was like, I felt your words, your teachings were evoking a remembrance in my own spiritual gifts. I was feeling into this and I was like, oh, I wonder if this is just natural transfer, or is this something that people who are not aware that they have these abilities, that they could be taught this, or like have that spark, kind of like giving that spark so that they can light up their own place. And it just feels like it's something that you do. That's why I asked you, because I don't know, I didn't know, but it feels like something that you're already doing. Perhaps it's
Oh,
in your near future.
I would love that.
Yeah. How long have you been working with people and their animals to help them?
I am noticing that more and more people are finding me or coming to me. And when they share what's going on in their lives, the animals are a part of it. This woman I met in church, she says, "You're a healer, right?" And I said, "Yes." And she says, "Like, I would like help healing an experience I had with my pets." And I'm like, well, like, it's like this person doesn't even really know me other than that she knows I offer healing. And so it's like the animals are somehow, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Sending them to you.
yeah, it's like they're being sent to me.
That's so
So
beautiful.
so I haven't been doing it that long, but I feel like the gift has been inside me forever and I long to help so many people and their pets. I also will connect with like the horses, the horse ancestors, my angels and my guides, and my star family, and ask them to bring them to me. So that's what I'm inviting. I'm inviting my soul tribe, which is people and their pets.
There's something really interesting here that my guys want me to talk about when you said not that long, because you guys are like, she's been doing this for generations and generations, literally. So I had to bring this out to people who may not be aware that the new generation of healers are awakening, and this is everybody. They're awakening to remembering who they have been and what they have done. And all it takes is to remember that, and then it's there. You have it. You have the gift available to use. And it's not like before where people would like go and study and take this course and that course and all these things and practice. I'm not saying those things are not valid, but I'm just saying that now the times are so different, where the energy is moving so quickly that people are waking up, they're tuning into their own experiences, what they remember, and there it is, boom. And they need right now really is to have that validation from someone to tell them, yes, what you're saying resonates. Yes, what you're saying works. Yes. And then that person can have that confidence to begin to really use and share their abilities, their gifts with others, if that's what they choose to, because it's there. And it's there at a mastery level. It's
Yes,
right.
exactly.
It's no longer like, oh, I'm just playing. Now it's like, oh, I can do that. And all of a sudden, like you're like mastery level and you're able to just transmit and receive and help people. It's incredible. Like I'm seeing this a lot with my clients and people, new people who are coming in and waking up. If there's people who are like resonating with this or waking up, or they're feeling or sensing things, or they're feeling like, yeah, I feel like I can communicate with the animals, and then just go in, lean into that, or reach out for help from someone that resonates with you so they can help you really get the confirmation, which, because that's all
Yes,
it is. It's just,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. The confirmation is huge.
yeah,
It's so inspirational and it's like, wow, I really am making a difference here.
yes. This is
Mhm.
why I always, whenever I work with someone or they work with me, I always give them the confirmation. I'm like, hey, you know that thing you said? It happened. You know that thing you showed me? Here it is. Just giving that confirmation because it's so easy to doubt ourselves.
Yes.
Do you have any other stories you want to share or anything else you want the audience to hear about you and your abilities with animal communication?
Maybe to bring into people's awareness or to remind them to be curious about how you can receive messages from spirit, how you can receive messages from animals, from nature, from loved ones living and passed over. Be curious, be open, because we're all messengers and we all have messages and medicine to share for each other, to each other. It's really just reminding ourselves so much support for us through everything in nature, whether it be an animal or a crystal or a person living or a person passed over. Be open, be curious to be shown, you know, go hug a tree for 15 minutes and ask the tree for a message. You will get a message, and trust the first thing you receive, the first thing that you receive. Don't doubt it. Just accept it, whatever it is, and explore it more, because that's how, when Shawnee came to me and says, Mommy, explore your connection. Explore your connection to the crystal realm and trees and animals and loved ones living in past. Explore it. And when I started to explore it, I'd be in the kitchen washing dishes, and my mother would pop in, who lives 5 hour drive away. And she would just be talking to me. I didn't ask to talk to her, but I was open to receiving information from whoever I'm connected to. But it's through the exploration and the curiosity. Because if we shut it off and say, no, I can't do that, that's not my gift. No, it's like, be curious, because then you will be shown, you'll be shown your gift, because I didn't know it was a special gift until Shawnee told me so. I just thought it was something that everybody did with their pets. Shawnee says, well, maybe, but I'd be exploring it if I were you.
Yes, that's really key because all of us have our own unique, special ways of receiving or our own abilities. But because we are born with them and we're tuned in, we really do think that it's normal or that everybody has it. And when we don't explore and or talk about it, then we don't realize that it's actually something that's unique for us, the way that we're receiving it.
Exactly, because we all came here with unique gifts. And you can just simply ask to be shown what they are, ask for them to be revealed to you through nature.
Let me ask you something, Glenda. You said that you're in the kitchen and your mother showed up and she's alive
Yeah, well, she was at that time.
and she just spoke with you.
She just popped in. She just popped into my awareness and started talking to me.
And did you call later, like on
I
the
did.
phone?
I said, Mom, were you talking to me about blah, blah, blah? She goes, yes.
How do you think she knew to do this?
I think she was just thinking about me and having like a conversation in her head about me.
And you were able to receive it.
And I was able to receive it. I'm very telepathic. I can meet somebody for the first time, and it doesn't have to be a person. It can be an animal. It doesn't matter who or what it is. And I meet them once, and I can close my eyes, and it's like I can see them. Shawnee, to this day, when I connect with her, like right now, I can see her, I can feel her, I can smell her, I can feel her bone structure, her hair, her wavy hair. It's everything. All my senses receive her. So I'm very kinesthetic. I feel so much. And it doesn't matter if I've only met the being once.
That's amazing. This is so interesting because the way that we're moving with the energies as we are ascending to 5D, this is exactly what's being shown. And I've heard from other people as well that the communication is going to be telepathic. It's going to be like you're describing. And as I am not that open as you are to this telepathy, it's kind of like difficult for someone who is not doing that or receiving that way to imagine how would that be. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about this the other day and I was like, I wonder if I can just telepathically have a conversation with my friend. what would I say? And with all the little things that are not as important that we say in conversation, would those also be transmitted, or will it be just the facts or the needs that need to be communicated? And I was wondering about that. So, because you actually do this, can you shine some light about how that works? Is it like regular communication, or is it like just like the facts, like this is what I needed you to know, or is it like words with the ums and pauses like we do when we're speaking as humans?
So for me, when Shawnee told me to explore my connection to all these things, what I started to do was, for example, um, let's just say it was a tree in this example. So I would just send a beam of light from my heart and sometimes my third eye to the tree, just simply with my intent.
So, like, you imagine I'm sending this beam of light, and that's the intent, and that's how you send it. Just like I imagine this beam of light coming from my heart. Is that how you do
To,
it?
yes.
Okay.
And then it might be easier if I use a different example, like a person. So I'll just pick my mother. So my mother's in spirit. She's passed in spirit. So all I do is I send a beam of light from my heart to the spirit of my mother in my third eye, and I say, my sweet mother, come, 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 my sweet mother, come, come, come. If I could feel your healing light and information, your divine being, your divine presence in my energy field, how would I notice? How would I notice? Oh, hi, Mom. How are you? How are you? Thank you for connecting with me. Oh, sweet. Sweet dear, did I tell you how proud I am of you for all that you've done and all that you will do and share with the world? I'm so proud of you. And I love you more than you will ever know. And I may not have shown that to you on the earth plane, but I'm sharing that with you now. So that's how. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was beautiful. So she was just communicating with you, giving you this
Yes.
message, but you were speaking it.
Yes. So it's like I speak it, it comes through me. She's talking to me, but I'm speaking it out loud. So sometimes well, most of the time when I talk to Shawnee, I'll talk how I used to talk to her, like in the tone. My tone will change, but I'm talking as she's talking to me, it's coming through me and I'm talking it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so if somebody wanted to come see you for communication with a loved one, you can do this exactly like you just showed us.
Yes.
And how about if they wanted to communicate with an animal, a past
Same,
animal?
same,
Same thing.
exact
You
same
would just
thing.
speak.
Exactly same thing.
How do you receive the messages? Are they do you need to translate them, or are they
No,
how does that work?
no, just comes. Now, having said that, everybody receives information differently. So the person might receive images instead. They might receive a piece of paper with words on it. They might become the pet and start talking, sort of like how I do. So they need to be open to be shown how they receive information. Is it auditory? Is it more of a feeling? So I would encourage them to be open to receive however they receive it. Allow them to receive it however they receive it. Allow it to be enhanced so that they can receive it. So if it's a voice message, ask it for it to get louder. If it's a picture, ask for it to get brighter. Oh, if I could see a clearer image of what this being is sharing with me, how would I notice? And then they keep doing that. They keep doing that until it becomes clearer and clearer and stronger and stronger. And it's like a muscle that you use that gets stronger as you use it. And then before you know it, you don't have to consciously do that. You will just be it. It will just be as natural as walking in the park.
I love that. You will just be it. You will just be. I love that statement. It's so natural. So I love it. Thank you for sharing. So if somebody wanted to book one of those sessions, to speak to their pet or their past loved one, is that something that you do that you offer right now?
Yes, 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 absolutely.
I'll
link
put
tree that
all your
has all,
information, put all your
yeah,
information under descriptions so people can reach you.
yes, yes. So on
Okay.
my link tree, you can see how you can reach me, and you'll see my other offerings there too.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. This has been so nurturing and so amazing. I love our conversation.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to my podcast again. If you guys are just meeting Glenda, look up her other podcast. It's all about love and finding your true love for yourself and then creating that love around you. So it was a very, very powerful episode. So just look up Glenda Ray on there and then you can see her other episode as well. But this has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming and thank you for all your help with my dog Teddy as well.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you again for coming, Linda, and I hope you really have enjoyed this episode. And don't forget to subscribe and like and share with as many people as you feel would really love to get these messages and this type of information. Thank you. Bye bye.